Okay, here I want to give you all the steps in order to get a Coast Guard captain license. And the first thing I would suggest to do is buy this online Coast Guard captain license prep class, and it's an online system. And this Marine Nurse Learning System.com, they are the cheapest that I was able to find within the tri-state DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And they do offer exams in Virginia and Maryland, Fairfax, Virginia, and Maryland, but not in DC currently. So they have a deluxe edition, which includes the tools and the chart, the divider, and the parallel ruler. They also have a cheaper edition, which is just the digital edition, which costs $495. So $100 you get all the hard copy books as well as the tools, and come with a couple pencils and erasers, which is useful when you need to take the exam. And the next step, second step you need to do is go to the pay.gov website, which is a Coast Guard website, and pay the $145 for the license itself. And the license you want to get is what's called the initial officer endorsements. And it's the original officer endorsement. And the 145 is really $100 for evaluation of your application, and then $45 for issuance of your credential or the license after you finish all the requirements. The exam $95, you don't need to pay. That's why in your application, when you go to the pay.gov, you want to say exam to be paid later. You want to choose that option. So this way you only need to pay $145 over the pay.gov website using your credit card, of course. And the $95, when you buy these online prep classes, they will pay for that $95 for you. So you don't pay the $95 when you do step 2 to pay for the evaluation and the issuance of the credential. And step number 3 is you want to get a Tweek Card, which is essentially you need to go to this universal enroll at dhs.gov, Department of Homeland Security, in order to get the fingerprint. And a Tweek Card will cost you $125 as of March of 2018. They just lowered it from $140 or something like that when I paid it a couple years ago. And step number 4 is you need to fill out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forms. And they are, Coast Guard 719B, which is the application for the license or the credential. And then the second one is to certify you don't have a conviction of any kind of crimes. Or if you do, you want to disclose. Coast Guard 719C. That's the form. And then for the medical certificate, which is Coast Guard C 719K. And you also need to fill out this medical evaluation report and bring it to your medical examiner, which I just use my primary care physician as my doctor to check my physical, my vision, my hearing, make sure everything is kosher, and then pass the exam, or certify that I'm physically fit to be a Coast Guard captain. And the other thing is this Sea Service form, which is Coast Guard 719S. If you own a boat, and you can self-certify by filling out the form, and there are something like a 90 hours in the last 5 years or whatever, so look it up. But this is the requirement this is the form you need to do. But if you have commercial driving boat experience, then you don't own a boat, and you need your employer to certify that you do have enough sea service to satisfy to apply for a Coast Guard captain license. And there's also the drug test form, 719P, that you have to fill out. So step 5 is take those forms, especially the medical form, to your physical doctor, or doctor for physical, primary care physician for your physical, and for check your vision, your hearing, your overall health condition. And then step 6 is fill out the drug test, or fill out the form and then take it to any kind of test center. I just use the walk-in care center in Virginia, and certainly you can find one that's close to you. And the drug form 719P will have to be signed by the drug test doctor. So the doctor will have to certify that you are drug-free for this test. And of course it's going to cost around 75 or 80 bucks, depending on which location you go to. Number 7 is you have to attend a first aid or CPR training, and it costs about $65 for a 4-hour session. You may be able to find free first aid and CPR training at your local fire station, and hopefully they provide that in exchange for your time for volunteering at the fire station. The last step is number 8, which is take the test, and then the exam for this particular online course is April 7 in Fairfax, April 7, and the next one is May 16 in Glen Burnie. And then there's nothing until July in Fairfax or Maryland. But there's no test center in Washington, D.C. yet. So they're expanding, and hopefully they will be able to get that soon. And let's see. So this is the website that I got the exam or the online prep course. They don't tell you this, but essentially, so why do you need to buy these online courses? The most recent, the major reason is because this exam you will be testing, they will be selecting questions out of a subset of the 3,000 questions that the Coast Guard would use, and that's why it's the pass rate is much higher than the without taking this license, as I can show you in a minute. Where is the let's see if they have their test results. Yeah, test location, what you need to know. Resources. Not sure what it's well, it's not shown, but this is the U.S. Coast Guard National Maritime Center, where I was able to get most of my information, and so they got the checklist, examination fees. They also have the online chat to help you along to do all the process. So it's very daunting, or very intimidating when you look at this website. Basically you don't know where to go, because the merchant mariner credential is not just the boat captain, but also some deck general or license. So there's a lot more than just the see here military service or whatever. So there's a lot more than you need to know in order to get your Coast Guard boat captain license. Anyway, so these are the 8 steps to get the Coast Guard license, and feel free to comment. And oh yeah, when you are done with all these forms, you basically just submit to this National Maritime Center at uscoastguard.gov, and there is a specific email address you submit these application to. So it's in here somewhere, So basically, you can just talk to them or chat with them, and then they will give you the place to submit this application. So I'm not gonna go through all that or find it right now. So you can probably chat with them and then be able to proceed. Well, good luck with your endeavor if you ever wanted to become a Coast Guard captain license. And here are the 8 steps to do this.